Tony, you got 4 3-pointers tonight from Braxton, including a couple really big ones late. He had been shooting very poorly from outside this season. What did you kind of talk to him about during his slump, and what did he do differently tonight mechanically?
He made him. Very astute observation that, no, we needed those. As we've said, you get to these points where, we played some really good basketball, defended for the most part well, and then their matchup 3-2 or what have you gave us some trouble, and you do have to stick some shots, but we were sort of spinning the wheel trying to figure out, well, can we run this action against it? And they did a good job matching up, and you just need, sometimes it gets to that point, someone to jump up and make a shot or make a big play, and Braxton did that twice, and we certainly needed it because we had a couple when we gave up a free throw rebound and had that double dribble and a turnover late, and they started closing that gap. He bailed us out, so I thought as Mike said, the G-Man said he had a terrific second half, and I thought we were sharp defensively, especially in the first half, and it seemed solid in the second half, but they also made some plays.
Tony, you were much better with ball security tonight, and especially in the first half. Yeah. What did you like? What did you see?
Well, we worked real hard. We had 7 days till we played, and when you have that, you try to, again, make the balance of giving them rest, to freshen them up, but then go to work on areas that you feel are troublesome, and we work on that every day, but we had a little more time to really attack some hard ball handling sureness drills, and we did that, and again, tried to get a lot of shooting, but practice hard, and I hope that carried over, and I think our guys understood the value of that, and we had a nice flow going for a while, and again, then they fell into that zone, and it sort of stymied us, but we made enough plays out of it, and again, good plays down the stretch by Braxton.
Tony, obviously the three-pointer Braxton made when it was 36-34 was big. Then when it was 42-39, how much more confidence does a player have to shoot that shot again when you guys need another basket?
Yeah, I think so, and he knocked some free throws, went in too. You go back to the Wake Forest game where he really struggled from the floor and the line, and he took, for the most part, they were the right shots. He missed some layups early, and you saw that, but for sure, it's rhythm, it's confidence, and he saw one go in and he took them, and again, it was really big. And I want to mention Jay, because I thought Jay did a real good job with his length, with 4 blocks again, and grabbed some rebounds and made some nice plays. That's a hard matchup for our big guys because Amir can really step out and shoot the three, and as Mac as well, he didn't shoot it as well, but those guys that screen and separate are tough. So I thought our bigs did a pretty good job defensively, and Jay was very effective, but the confidence factor for sure, it's just you make one, all of a sudden the free throw feels good, and the rhythm on the shot, and we've been battling that all year, trying to just will one in, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I wish I could promise you that, but I can't.
We hadn't seen Cody in a couple games, obviously, due to the concussion. He comes in, seemed like he gave you enough. He had a 3. Yes. What did you see from him tonight, and how far along has he come in a short amount of time?
Yeah, I thought he grabbed a couple big rebounds. I want to see that last one but I really thought he grabbed a rebound and did a nice job. That 3 was good, and he had that one double dribble in the backcourt at the end, but otherwise he was steady, and again, he's recovered from that, so it's been good to have him. And Thomas had a couple of his 3s blocked, and it wasn't quite what we've seen as of late, and that's this team. So now Cody stepped in there, and it was just kind of a team effort that way, but good to have the option of Cody for sure.
Tony,
Big baritone voice there, Dave.
Yeah, whoa. You mentioned Jay's defense, but overall you got a combined from he and Mamadi 23 points, 18 boards, 6 blocks. I mean, just in tandem, was that as effective as they have been in a long time?
I think so, yeah. I think it was definitely one of their, probably was, I'm trying to go back to the years, but their length is real. Jay's is, and they're both bouncy. And I like that I thought this was one of their better defensive rebounding games, and that's big. And then again, sometimes guys can beat you, and as long as we can do it without fouling, if they can rim protect, that just adds another thing to our defense, because I thought our defense, was close to a complete game, and that was important, and that's how we had to win this one.
I'm going to stick with Jay, but go back to the defense. He's previously struggled with getting a lot of those ideas down. His hedging has seemed a lot stronger. Obviously today, the way he was positioned against Amir Sims. Is there something in practice where you saw a light kind of click with some of these things? And what has that progression been like with him over just the past couple weeks where it seems like he's shown a lot of progress on the court?
Yeah, I think we're really working hard with Jay just to be disciplined staying down because he is so long at 7 feet 7'1" and not getting sold or biting on shot fakes because Amir is really good at up and unders, and Jay was disciplined to stay down. And then, if someone's beat and he times it, his timing's really good to block shots. But I thought his discipline and staying down was good, and then, working really hard on showing, but how quick he can get back after he shows. Sometimes he gets out there, and I thought he was a little more alert and quicker back to his man with using his arms. So sort of those things, it's just daily working at it, and again, him giving us some, a boost offensively as well.
How do you think the team had played the zone against zones prior to today, and
Yeah,
how much have you actually seen?
that's, well, Wake Forest played all zone, and, it helps. Thomas was 7 of 12, 14, whatever he was from 3, so you need to stick some shots against the zone. And their zone was kind of a matchup. Like it looked like a 3-2, and then we get it to spots, and they just match up. So it was kind of a hybrid, which is challenging. And we were trying to get in there off the dribble with some ball screens, but we kind of went on a cold stretch, and then all of a sudden it's tough because it's not a traditional zone. It's almost spread out and then match up, and then it turns into kind of a man-to-man, so you can't really just run your true zone offense. It's sort of a hybrid, and we'll keep working on it because I'm sure we'll see some more. Up to that point, just okay. Some good, some bad. Shooting is a big part of the zone offense.
Tony, the guys had very active hands, especially in the first half in passing lanes. Is that something you challenged them with in this build-up?
I mean, not so much active hands, but that's one of our checkpoints is be active on the ball, but just be hard to score against. Don't give anything. And that mindset was enough against Florida State with just enough offensive plays, and it was enough tonight against Clemson with just enough offensive plays. And but I like our size, and I feel like we're moving in the right direction defensively. And I know, we've held teams low, but there's times where I feel really good that we're scrambling better and covering for each other. That to me is maybe the next step. Maybe we'll make an error, but someone runs out and there's a better scramble, cover, reset the defense. And that was effective tonight.
Similarly, on the defense, when you're looking at your front court, you blocked 7 shots tonight. You've done more of that this year. What is that element adding to the back end of your defense?
It covers up a mistake, just like we talked about scrambling. Someone gets beat off the dribble, and, all of a sudden a big can read it, and then, it makes the guards think twice. Maybe they miss or they get it blocked. So it's like you can run bad offense and bang a fall-away 3, and it looks good. And you can run bad defense, and someone beats you down the lane, and someone blocks it, and it's a stop. So it's a score when you make it, and it's a stop when you block it. And I think that has covered up a couple of errors and mistakes because you're going to make some errors. The way guys can attack off the dribble and do stuff. So that is good with Momedy and Jay in there for sure.